10 of the best tips and tricks for Pokemon Sun and Moon. These are tips and tricks, hidden mechanics, and just things you should know about the game to help you with your Alolan adventure. Pokemon Sun and Moon released Friday, November 18th worldwide. Pokemon fans worldwide are going to be diving into the new Alola region on a brand new adventure. Whether you've been playing since you were on a Game Boy Color or just introduced to the series by Pokemon Go, here are the 10 best tips and tricks, hidden mechanics, and things to know for every new trainer's journey into the Alola region. Number 1. Starters. We figured we'd start at the beginning of the game, since that's where everyone is going to start. The Alola region shows us 3 brand new starters to choose from. All 3 resemble the same classic rock, paper, scissors starters that we've always chosen from: fire, water, and grass. The final forms of all 3 have unique dual typings. And since the starter Pokemon's final forms all generally have high base stats of around 530, it'll most likely be your partner throughout the game. But if you don't like the starters that you're given, the first island has a wide variety of Pokemon that would make a great companion throughout your entire adventure, including Pichu, Alolan Grimer, Meowth, Growlithe, Slowpoke, Happiny, and more. Number 2. Navigation. Your Pokedex in this game gets an upgrade and will have a Rotom living inside of it. Little creepy, we know. Not only will he add some quirky commentary throughout your adventure, but he will also have a sort of navigation feature. Now your Rotom Dex is constantly displayed at the bottom screen with a small red flag on where to go to next in the main overworld. He may not be too helpful inside of caves, but those are pretty straightforward anyways. He'll also inform you of any great areas to take snapshots of wild Pokemon. So if you got a little lost in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire about where to go to next, your trusty Rotom Dex is here to help. Number 3. Call for help. If you played the demo of Sun and Moon, then on the trial that you underwent, you already saw that Pokemon can call for help in their time of need. One thing to know is that every wild Pokemon can call for help. That makes moves that hit multiple enemies very useful in this game, including Razor Leaf, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Dazzling Gleam, and more. Now in this game there's not a lot of 2-on-2 battles, but there's a lot of 2-on-1 battles. And with Horde encounters and Horde battling removed, this new mechanic helps make up for that. There's a new item in Sun and Moon called the Adrenaline Orb. This is an item that's used in battle and will make wild Pokemon more likely to call for help. This will make capturing the right gender of a Pokemon much easier, especially since some Pokemon have only a 1% chance of spawning in some locations. It took me over an hour to find Mimikyu, but best believe once I found that guy, I Adrenaline Orbed him, turn 1. Number 4. Wild Evolved Pokemon. This newest generation of Pokemon does something really great. If you ever played old generations and found level 40 Geodudes and thought, well, how come you aren't just a Graveler? That's been solved. Wild Pokemon shown up in their evolved forms much more often than previous games. And not just Golbat and Raticate, but you'll find Haunters, Graveler, Gyarados, Dugtrio, Machoke, and much more. One really great thing that a lot of trainers are going to stumble upon is there's a chance of Pokemon calling for help and getting their evolved forms to aid their side. I found a Bonsly, and after his 3rd time calling for help, boom, there was a wild Sudowoodo. Number 5. Catchability. Sun and Moon are the first Pokemon game that have sort of a very predominant rule at some points in the game. No catching Pokemon. That's right. The game that has been telling people to catch them all for over 20 years has some areas in the game that you are not allowed to catch Pokemon. When you're undergoing any trial, you won't be able to throw any balls. It might be because you're finding evolved Pokemon under their regular evolve level, or perhaps it's just so you don't nab a totem Pokemon from a trial. There are some other areas other than trials with that same rule. So just be careful when you're button mashing through the text. Number 6. Ultra Beasts. In the main story of Pokemon Sun and Moon, you'll come to learn about Ultra Beasts. What are they? No one really knows. You'll encounter a fairly low-leveled one about halfway through the main story. It'll be one of those areas that for whatever reason, you won't be allowed to catch it. After you complete all the trials and become champion of the Alola region, you'll start a post-story that will revolve heavily around these elusive Ultra Beasts. There are 2 specific to Sun and 2 specific to Moon, both different from each other, so you'll need both versions to complete the Pokédex and your Ultra Beast collection. The end of that episode even hints at the game's 3rd legendary Pokémon. Number 7. Bells and Whistles. I'm personally upset at the loss to the Poké Radar. The convenient bottom screen in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire that showed you what wild Pokemon there were in an area, and you got an icon of a crown when you found them all. It's gone. Nothing. Bye-bye. 8th generation has a boatload of its own gimmicks, including Pokemon Palego, Pokemon Refresh, and Festival Plaza. Palego is an area that revolves around a new in-game item known as beans. Yes, that magical fruit helps you develop small islands that can attract wild Pokemon, or have Pokemon that you have already captured grow berries for you, or even go on hunts for items. Festival Plaza is where you'll be accessing your trading and battling from. There's also a whole street fair area that revolves around FP, or friend points. And Pokemon Refresh is similar to a mechanic in the previous games for petting your Pokemon, but now it serves a useful purpose. After a battle, if one of your Pokemon leaves after getting hit with a Thunder Wave or a Toxic, you no longer have to use a Paralyze Heal or Antidote. Just fire up Pokemon Refresh and wipe away the Paralysius. Yep, because that makes sense. Number 8. Game integration. Remember all those amazing mythical Pokemon that Game Freak was giving away all 2016? All the level 100 Mews, Genesects, Keldeos, and more. Think you're just gonna open up Sun and Moon, fire up the old Aurus, and transfer them over? Well, think again. Pokemon Sun and Moon have an exclusive Pokédex of around 300 in-game with no national dex. If you transfer your Greninja from the demo, he won't even register in your Pokédex. No national dex means no backwards compatibility. At the time of launch, Sun and Moon will not be able to trade with Pokemon in 7th generation. It won't even be compatible with Pokemon Bank until Bank updates in supposedly January 2017. After the Bank update, you'll be able to take your Pokemon from XY, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Red, Blue, and Special Yellow version and transfer them into Sun and Moon. Number 9. Legendaries. Ah yes, the creme de la creme of Pokemon. Any of these little guys that stand over 8 feet tall, have crazy base stats, and you fight at level 75 in the wild is sure to bring back that Cerulean Cave Mewtwo nostalgia. If you include Ultra Beasts and Island Guardians, Sun and Moon have a whopping 18 legendaries in total. This number is including the pre-evolutions of the box Pokemon. Yep, for the first time ever, our legendaries evolve from something. Ooh. 2 of these whopping total legendary Pokemon are not available in-game at the time of launch and will most likely be event Pokemon, like Magiana. Number 10. Most importantly, have fun. This is a brand new region, it's a brand new game, it feels different from any other Pokemon game that you've played. I've played since Red and Blue on my Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, and made my way through the generations, and with all the gyms being gone and the new trial mechanic, it's truly a refreshing game. For veteran or newbie, I recommend that with everything that you just heard, most importantly, to take it all in, experience it, and have fun in the Alola region. So there you are, the top 10 tips and tricks, hidden mechanics, and things to know about Pokemon Sun and Moon. What starter Pokemon will you choose? And what part are you most excited for? Leave your comments down below and let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, be sure to hit subscribe. I'll be adding more new Pokemon Sun and Moon coverage for all the new trainers in the Alola region. Until then, Alola! That's how everyone says hi and apparently bye.